The fact of being deliberate or purposeful. Purposive? Purposive. I've never heard that word actually. Let's hear it. Purposive.
Need a savage. They say opposites attract, we can balance. I know whoever slept on you couldn't manage, but I can blow a check on you, take advantage. Hey, she a good girl, but the baddest.
I feel like I should back up a little bit more. Yeah. This is gonna be a very informal video because like obviously you see what I'm wearing. Actually, I'm really cute right now. Look at these like faux leather. It's not why we're here. Hi guys, what's up? I just wanted to come on and have a quick chat with you guys since I haven't in some time. It's been a good little minute, hasn't it? I haven't done a sit down video. This one's very dear to my heart. This one at the moment is very dear to my heart because it's something that I've kind of been going back and forth with. I've been struggling with it, honestly. And not just in my romantic relationships, but just in most forms of relationships, like platonic, romantic, business. Y'all know I got a job, or for those who don't know, I recently got a job, so it's just like I'm really having to deal with a lot more people than I have in my most recent life. But also, I forgot to put on lipstick. Did I? No, I didn't. I can't see myself and this light is bright as hell. Sorry. So in this video, I want to talk about ways that you can be more intentional in your relationships. And I put it that way because I'm the type of person that will battle myself in a situation rather than kind of going to the other person. Basically what I'm saying is I really expect common sense out of people, and by common sense I mean I expect them to give what I give. I expect to receive what I'm giving, and I know you shouldn't have expectations, but also how long are you going to be met with giving someone the world and getting cold back? It's giving a dark Christmas. Yeah, I'm just gonna get a little comfy because this one's like, but yeah, it's been a struggle for me for pretty much as long as I can remember. I've always been a type of person, well, not as of late, but before, I'm still kind of hurt, let me be honest. But I've been known to myself to be the type of person, like, as soon as someone rubs me the wrong way, baby, I'm out of there. No explanation, no nothing, right? Just because I kept feeling like I would never do that to you, so why would you do it to me? Or it's common sense to be a better friend. But what I've realized in the past few years, that people have their own definitions of words, first of all. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, no, there's one definition. People be having their own definition of words, right? So what I may consider a friend, I might use terms like loving, passionate, enduring. Is that the same as loving? Probably. I would think a friend to me is someone who is there for me no matter what, is gonna be honest with me. That's my type of friendship, right? Other people will look at situations off of their relationships depends on completely what they can gain from the relationship, which I feel like we all kind of have that. But some people may say a good friend is someone who, if we go to lunch that you invited me to, you pay for it, or even if I'm wrong, you need to stand beside me while I'm wrong. Like, you know, people have different definitions, right? This video, I'm talking about just ways that you can be more intentional in relationships. And really, this is a focus of ways to like set your boundaries, but also give the other person a clue. Because also going through doesn't always mean something negative. What I have been growing through, really the past year and a half, for real, but it's been a few years that it's been on my mind anyway. But actually growing through is giving people the opportunity to have an understanding. What I mean by that is, if something pissed me off or rubbed me the wrong way, rather than just being like, you should have knew better. Nah, some things, they should know better, right? There's hard understandings of you should have motherfucking knew better. Like, you should have known better to not sleep with my boyfriend. That type of shit. Not that that happened to me. Actually, another topic. But yeah, so honestly that memory just kind of like threw me off that I just had, but shit crazy. Let me go get my juice also. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, so let's have some kind thoughts about being intentional. And excuse me, I'm absolutely famished right now. A mango juice that I put in the juicer yesterday, giving me life. And there's some blackberries in there that are a little muddled. I love that shit. It's like while you're drinking, get a little snack. But let me refocus. First thing I want to say when it comes to being intentional, is there mango on my lip? When it comes to being intentional with your relationships, you first have to be a good listener, and I cannot voice that enough. You have to be a good listener, or your partner will feel unheard, or you have to be a good listener because one, you don't want your partner to feel unheard, and two, you want to feel heard in your relationship. And if you're not being a good listener, you shouldn't be expecting somebody to be listening to you, right? A lot of situations that happen with couples that at least that I have heard about from my friends or just like scrolling online, it seems like such a simple fix that got blown out of proportion because no one was communicating with each other and actually listening to each other to progress rather than to have another word. Like, listen to what they're saying, not to respond, but to take it in and to have a response from it. Yes, it sounds so simple, but in actuality, it's actually extremely difficult for the majority of people to do. I would say you'd be shocked, but you probably wouldn't because you're a human and you've lived a life before. Listening is going to save a whole lot of relationships, as I've already said. It's going to save a whole lot of situations, a whole lot of SHIT. Like, you're gonna avoid a lot of stuff if really you just become a better listener. And I know that sounds very simple, but it's really not shocking to think how it's not that simple, or it's not shocking to understand. It's not shocking to think that that is a difficult task for a lot of people. Hell, it was a difficult task for me. No. I've always been a really good listener. I pride myself on that. Now, do I date good listeners? Not always. To be an effective listener, you really have to go in with a clear mind, no opinions at the moment anyway. A clear mind, clear of your own opinions and perception. Really, that's the big thing. You have to clear your mind of your own perception, at least while you're listening to that person, so that you're able to better take in what they're saying. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. Really, when it comes to listening, a helpful hint will be to remain patient. What's that, Andy? Yeah. I knew you were gonna come back. That's why I didn't say anything. Okay, I'm gonna wait till baby's studying. It can be a very difficult task to be a good in-depth listener, but I mean, things are gonna be hard, but they get easier the more that you do them, right? Like, the practice makes perfect. We've all heard that. So just keep your focus on that, and you'll thrive. Like, is it gonna be immediate? Maybe, probably not. But as long as you're trying to get there, that's what really matters, and your partner's gonna see that, you're gonna feel that, and if you don't get anything from that, then baby, kick rocks. To be a good listener, you have to clear your mind. You can be a good listener and not be an effective listener, and we're talking about being an effective listener, right? Because I could sit in silence all day and hear you talking, but like, you know what I mean? Be an effective listener. And to be an effective listener, like I said, you have to You have to clear your mind of your own opinions, ideas, perspective in that moment and just genuinely listen to that person. With that, you have to bring patience. So be patient. Be patient, and oh, this one's gonna get a lot of people because I've just witnessed it. And like I said, I've been here. I'm just not there anymore. I'm not gonna hold you and fake the funk. We're not learning this part together because I worked my butt off to be where I am right now when it comes to this, and we're thriving. So be patient. Do not seek to respond to every single thing, even though it's gonna itch. Whoo, you're gonna be like, that don't add up. But just hear them out. If you gotta take notes, baby, take notes. And if somebody gets offended by that, that's probably not the right person anyway, or at least mentally they're not mature enough for that. Because if somebody whip out notes while I'm talking, you can take it either way. You can say, oh, you're trying to like trip me up, but why are you being defensive? If somebody's taking notes to me talking, I'm gonna be like, damn, you really care and you really want to work on this, and like, what's up? Take me out to dinner. Wait for them to finish talking in silence. Key word is silence. And for as long as they wish to talk. And honestly, I'm not about to listen to a 30-minute monologue about everything that I did wrong to you, or, you know, know your limits. I'm not about, but I'll listen to you. If you're making a valid point, I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna be quiet. Even if I'm only being quiet because I want the same in return, it still counts. Still be an effective listener, okay? Take in what they're saying. Take it. Take it in. You guys watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, where Heather be like, and we're fluffing the energy? Like, I completely understand that. Negative, bad listeners, I just want to be like, clear yourself off of me. Wait for them to finish talking. Don't say a word. Listen to them. Wait for them to finish talking. Once they are quiet and they have gotten to their point, and you know, some people will go from point to point to point to point. That's me. I kind of can be like that. I have to catch it. Once they make their point, once they finish, at that point, offer your opinion if need be. If it is gonna help the situation, if you are voicing how something made you feel, if it's gonna help the situation. Don't just be saying like little low blows for no reason, because then you're gonna veer off of topic and you're not gonna get that resolve that you're looking for, and now you're talking about 3 years ago, and for why? Make that a separate you can say, oh, that just reminded me of something that I want to talk about. Notepad, notepad. What did Blue's Clues say? I'm a 90s baby. But listening truly does go beyond staying mute, hearing everything that they have to say. It really does go beyond that, and I know y'all are about to know what I mean once I say it. So what I mean by that is take heavy note of your body language. Baby girl, I'm talking to you. Yeah, you may be listening, but doing all of this with everything they say, don't do that. Because they like, what you got to say? Why do I already know you're disagreeing with what I said? Like, don't be like that. So your physical body language, the tone that you're taking when you're speaking, that's not gonna fly. It's not. You're gonna divert, you're gonna veer from the conversation, because they are taking full notice of that. No matter what you say, they like, yeah, I remember when you was. I'm sorry. You're like, yeah, I just want to rock the boat home. No, that doesn't work there. Moving on. Let me revisit. We are not just talking about your significant others. You can be a good listener, and you absolutely should be a good listener to anybody you're talking to. Relationship or not, you need to be a good listener, because it's just like, grow up. Grow up. I want y'all to see my legs. I don't know why, it just makes me feel better. It doesn't always have to be a serious thing for you to like peep in, like center in, hone in, zone in on what someone is speaking to you about. It is just a respect. It is a comfort. It's like a little blanket when you know that you're talking to someone and they're thoroughly listening to you. It just feels really good. Maybe that's just how I am, but I'd be like, because I used to, when people would interrupt me, like if I was talking and someone interrupted me, I mean, I kind of still am this way. Let me not hold you. If you interrupt me and then you have the audacity to say, huh? Absolutely not, because you already told me what I was saying was not important enough. It depends on how you interrupt. Like if you're like, excuse me, babe.
Excuse me, boo. Like, friend, 1 second. I really want to pay close attention. I want to give you my undivided attention. So I really need to handle this, or let me just do this really quick so that you will have my undivided attention, because I want to be completely focused on what you have to say to me, and I'm not right now with that needing to be done, or with...
Yeah, that shit, that'll butter the toast right there. That'll butter the toast. Maybe add little eggs, little bacon, maybe sausage, you know what I mean? Full breakfast right there. And it's crazy, like just sitting, from my experience anyway, just sitting and legitimately listening to someone and watching them and just thoroughly paying attention, you really get to learn a lot about people in those situations. Like I always say, I have a saying, I've never heard it before. Let me know if you heard it. In my head, I coined it. I don't necessarily know where it comes from, but I'm very big on don't be seen by blind eyes. And what I mean by that is you don't talk. Well, most of the time you're like, bitch, you're talking too much. Like, you're talking too much. You're giving too much information away. I learn a lot about those people too. But don't be so seen by blind eyes. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, don't talk too much, or either like, you know, pay attention sometimes. You don't always need to say nothing. Sometimes some things really deserve your silence, and that's your friend when she's talking, or that's your boyfriend when he's letting you know about his day. You know, it's the person you care about that is sharing something with you. Or like, honestly, a lot of the things that I want to do for in my relationship, when my boyfriend and I are chatting, I pick up on the little things for sure. Like, I'll talk about that in a whole nother video, but for right now, just pay attention. You'll really learn a lot. Like, you'll learn what people like. Like, sometimes I'll be listening to my friends or my significant other, and I'm like, oh, I know what to get you for this next gift, or oh, I want to surprise you with this because this will make you happy. Like, you really get to, being a good person will get you a very long way. Being a kind person will get you a pretty long way. Be pretty kind, okay? Be pretty kind. Don't be walked all over, but be pretty kind, you know what I mean? That perfectly leads us up to what I feel to know as number 2 when it comes to being intentional in your relationship. Pay attention. We pretty much just discussed that. Pay attention. Pay attention, pay attention. Grab the little things, you know? Honestly, yeah. Yeah, so let's look up the definition of being intentional, or intentionality. Intentionality. The fact of being deliberate or purposeful. Purposive? Purposive. I've never heard that word actually. Let's hear it. Purposive. Purposive. So yeah, excuse me. So yeah, keep in mind that intentionality is to say, or really it means to consciously put in effort. You are consciously putting in effort, which paying attention will definitely be a side effect. Yeah, you're putting in effort to basically just do the right things, be a kind person like we keep saying. Really doing the right things that will make your partner just feel like very much loved and considered by you. And that's always the goal, at least for me. I don't know. You know, I know it's a lot of city girls, city boys out there, but I'm not that. I'm a lover, baby. I'm a lover girl. I like to be in love, you know what I mean? Like, and really just caring for somebody. Now, how do we know if we're really paying attention? Like, for me, all of these points kind of like run into each other. So we did kind of touch on this a little bit before. However, repetition does what? make perfect, okay? Or make better, make it easier. It gets the job done most times. Always take note of, you know, the little things that matter to them, their habits, their hobbies, important dates, events. Ooh, do not, that's a big one. Remember important dates. That's something that I just learned in the past few months, and I'll never ever make that mistake again in my life because of how I made someone feel. Pay attention to important dates. Things they don't like, people, I don't want to say that they don't like, but definitely people that they would be 100% happy with not seeing. Take note of that shit. Take note of that for sure. Or, you know, it can be something more serious, like take notice of situations that stress this person out, whether it be a friend, whomever we're talking about. Take note of things that stress them out. For instance, y'all know my friend. If you don't know, if you're not familiar with my channel, you don't know, and you should learn. But I have a friend named Justice, and she's someone that I really had to learn to take note of things that stress her out. Cause I'm like, baby, I'm very big on fuck them people. I can be in a room full of people that don't like me, and I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I can I can be in a room full of people that don't like me and have a time and just. Okay, so we have a few changes. My camera overheated, and now the sun is down, but we got it. I just sit a little closer, but I want you guys to see my legs, so psych. Okay, so when it comes to being intentional in your relationships, we've gone over listening, we've gone over paying attention, we've gone over listening, we've gone over paying attention. So the third thing that I have on these lists, and obviously you're able to tell they all kind of flow together, but it's just in a more specific way each category. So now that we have those two, we're gonna move to what I believe is the third step in being intentional in your relationship, and that is remembering. We just kind of talked about that. When it comes to your relationships, remember the important things, remember the little things, remember things that they don't even think you know. It all plays. Not only, I feel like I've not been focused this whole time, now it's tracking, but I feel like that all plays a role in the betterment of your relationship. For not only you, like, you gonna get some shit back, okay? That's just how karma works. But for your partner, like, to feel cherished that way is such an amazing feeling that I feel like a lot of us take for granted sometimes. Or like, there's a lot of people that will it's really, when there's some people that when they say the simple things, they mean that. My battery's about to die. That sucks. So yeah, just all the things that are gonna help you learn and know your partner and show that you are putting in that effort and being intentional when it comes to that person. It just means, like, yeah, you're letting them know I am here for the long run. I'm not a little fling. I don't wanna just be a drinking buddy. But that's a whole nother topic in itself, because we do need to learn to compartmentalize people. So we'll be talking about that next, most likely. So yeah, and like I said, if you need to go the extra mile to, not if you need to, we all need to, and you should go the extra mile and write that stuff down so you can always go back. I have a little notepad in my phone of little things about my boyfriend. Like, oh shit, he really liked those socks when we walked by. I'm gonna go back and snag those. Or, oh, okay, remember to, just little things. Like, I noticed, for example, I noticed he liked these certain type of t-shirts. I went and bought like 3 of them. Which, it's not that they're expensive. I'm not trying to, like, yeah, I went and locked him up. But it was just the thought. Like, I noticed that you like that. I noticed that you like that and you didn't have the colors that I liked. Okay. But yeah. We already went over this, but add important dates to your calendar. That goes into tying it down and paying attention, or tying it down. You gotta tie them down after this. But I also took my hair down, and I feel like it looks better up. Yeah. Yeah, much better. just taking notes of things that are loved and hated by them. That's gonna get you a long way. Remember to ask them about the projects they mentioned to you that they were working on, or that issue they said they were struggling with. Like, it's always very nice to be a person to be confided in. To be confided in, is that how you say that? I'm gonna Google it. But yeah, but don't just be that person. Like, very much be a follow-up kind of person when it comes to things like that, because it just goes the extra mile. Because without the follow-up, where's the intention? Like, what was your intention? So yeah, the first 3 things at this point, you've probably done a good job with them, or taking note of them anyway. So the final step, in my opinion, to go about being intentional with, you've got all the tools now you have to act on it. With all that information that you just gathered from listening, paying attention, remembering, take all of that and wrap it into a bundle and act on it, which leads us to number 4. It's so weird recording with somebody able to hear me. I feel awkward, but I have to get past that. So yeah, take all of that information you got and put it to work in a loving manner. I promise you, the benefits will be reaped. Oh, excuse me. And most of the time, it really is the simple things. Like, everything doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Just a reminder to that person, like, yeah, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you. Here's a song that I don't know it. It could be something little, like buy a little accessory, something that is their favorite color. It's just like that top, like that lets them know you were thinking specifically about them when you made that decision. You feel me? You feel me? I don't understand. You feel me? So that kind of leads into, we spoke earlier about just like understanding the person that you're dealing with. That leads into whatever your partner considers to be of importance. You should definitely follow suit in that. I know that can get a little bit like, oh, fuck you mean, but no, seriously, it just is it's just thoughtful. And it makes them feel good. At the end of the day, we all love to feel thought about. We love to know that on someone else's time, they're thinking about us. As selfish as that makes, I don't even think it's selfish. I think it's actually just really nice. It just is a warming feeling. Oh my God, I had no idea you were thinking about me. That's my love language. That is my love language. It might be. Yeah, but even if something is not a big deal to you and it's a big deal to them, make it a big deal to yourself. Or at least don't mention that it's not a big deal or not of importance to you. Just give them that. Not everybody has that je ne sais quoi, if you know what I mean, but basically remember the golden rule. Like, we all know the golden rule. If you don't, it's treat others as you would like to be treated. It's really clear as day. Honestly, that one sums up everything that I said and spent hours saying, but whatever. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, but also focus on what they've mentioned to you also, because sometimes we're not all the same. So sometimes things that may not bother you or you don't understand why it got under that other person's nerve, it did, and that's all that matters. Speak from that point of view, and then sprinkle in your little voice. So last and final thing on this topic, I'm gonna put at number 6, show support. Be supportive. And it's not always in the physical form. Like I keep insinuating. This camera is sending me through it right now. But yeah, like I was saying, just to wrap it up, show support. Number 6 is show support. Showing support is one of the best ways to be intentional with your relationship. Like, just be showing up, baby. Like, there's so many videos that I've seen online of, like, I'm pretty sure you guys have maybe seen it too, where that like a kid is doing, I was looking right there, it's really looking here, like a toddler or a small child, someone in grade school, like they're doing a play or something and they're searching for their parents and they finally see their parents and they just fill with joy. Show up and show out, baby, but not that way. Don't make it about you, but show up. Whatever that person you're in a relationship with, like I said, platonic, significant, it does not matter. Whatever, if you're trying to be intentional in that relationship, whatever they get invested in, as long as in your heart anyway, that it's, or you really feel in your heart you know, it's good, lucrative, will make them a better person, like won't do anyone else harm, you gotta pull up. Like, what did Rihanna say?
I mean, how many of us in this room have colleagues and partners and friends from other races, sexes, religions? Show of hands. Well, then, you know, they want to break bread with you, right? They like you? Well, then, this is their problem too. So when we're marching and protesting and posting about the Michael Brown Jr.'s and the Tatiana Jeffersons of the world, tell your friends to pull up.
Tell your friends to pull up. You gotta pull up, and you need to do have your other friends do the same. At least mention it. By that I mean share the word, because very much I notice a lot, especially with what I do for work. A lot of the times you'll meet people that are not really your friends in this field. They just want clout. They feel like it's a mutual exchange. And I just be like, baby, how? How are you? You're not giving me shit, but whatever. Get your friends to pull up, share, just be supportive. Don't be like a behind the scene only ass. You know what I mean? Show up and show out. So yeah, these are just a few ways that I decided were important when it comes to being intentional in a relationship. And like that, I keep saying it. Let me just say this. I notice this a lot with women. I don't really pay too much attention to men. I notice a lot with women, like, how do I put this without offending people and y'all trying to cancel me? How do I put this? Yeah, these are just a few things that I feel like it really makes a huge difference. It sets the tone for your relationship, and you don't really have to be in your head too much about things if you got that communication down, you know what I mean? So yeah, oh, I remember what I was about to say. I love how I did these braids. I'm getting better every time I do them. But what I was saying was, I notice a lot with females, like females seemingly give their significant other such grace when it comes to stepping over boundaries or just like just not being the best person for them. But when it comes to friends, for some reason, us women, we hold them to. That'll be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are not familiar, my name is Prettykynd once again, and for those who are, thank you for coming back and watching this video. Go watch another one. I'm actually about to go for a run with my boyfriend right now, so I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm probably gonna vlog it too, so go watch the vlog.
Drive me crazy, easy baby. You know you drive me crazy.
Don't leave so soon, how could I get